up in court today on Eye for an Eye.
Who's got the will?
I got the will.
He got it.
Come here, Big Sugar Ray, let me see the will.
He wrote that will.
He
He took around with all the girls he could find.
In the court system, justice is not always just. That's why they bring their disputes here. Real people, real problems, real revenge.
They'll carry the chainsaw, put them over the will.
You can't be doing it. You can't be doing it.
Justice is eye for an eye.
Oh, you're too kind. I love you people. I'm Cato Kalin, and today on Eye for an Eye, we have a group of grieving grandkids trying to get back into their house. The plaintiffs claim their brother locked them out of Grandma's house because he refuses to cut the apron strings. The defendant believes that changing the locks was Grandma's wish. Grandma wanted ladies, not lovers, under her roof.
We deserve part of our grandmother's estate, and he's not going to get away with keeping everything and forging her name.
I don't know why my sisters put me through this, but all I want is my will. I want justice served.
This is the case of As the Will Turns. Which sibling will reign as head of this household? Only Extreme Akim can decide. Let's watch!
All rise!
Rachel, which one's Rachel?
I'm Rachel, sir.
Okay, Rebecca?
Rebecca Rodriguez.
And what is your name?
Rihanna.
Rihanna, okay. And you're here against your brother, Luis Rodriguez, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me why you're bringing your brother here to court today.
The reason we're bringing our brother here today because since our mother had passed away, our father, left. He didn't figure where he could leave us, so he left us with our grandmother because he just abandoned us.
Okay.
And so she raised us, and she did the best she could, and she was really good to us.
So why are you bringing him to court here today?
Because, Your Honor, he got the estate. He has the money, the will, everything was left to him, and he is leaving us out of it. And that's why we're here.
So this is a will dispute, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Okay, and why should you three get the property instead of him?
We think that it's fair that we all get something because, we did live with her. She raised us. We did take care of her, even though he would not let us, take care of her the way we were supposed to, but he would interfere with everything. We had no say-so on our grandmother's care.
Okay, they say that they should get equal partnership in this estate. What do you got to say about that?
I have given my entire life to my grandmother. I've been there all my life for her. They have not.
When's the last time y'all lived with your grandmother?
Okay, I left when I was 21.
And how about
Got
you?
Me
married.
when I was 25, and I have my 2 kids, and I live on my own with
Okay.
them. And he has no right to say whatever he's saying. I don't know what he did to push my grandmother to do whatever she did with the will, but I know something is wrong in here.
Who's got the will?
I got the will.
He got
Come
it.
here, Big Sugar Ray, let me see the will. So tell me why you think your grandmother left you everything and not them.
I've always been taking care of my grandmother all my life. She has trusted me while my sisters were out there partying every night, getting drunk. Saw them in different...
Excuse me, Your Honor.
That is not
Your Honor,
true.
he wrote that will
having
and
orgies in the
forged.
pool.
You are
Having
lying.
orgies in the pool?
Yes.
That is-
She saw them on the papers in strip clubs, and she
Honor,
He's lying.
Is that because
Okay,
they
first of all, let's get...
Can I talk, please?
Okay, I'm going to
Okay,
have to
what-
one at a time. Okay, you start
what-
first.
yes, what
First of all, I
happened
want to
is-
hear about the will.
Okay, that will, he wrote it.
He wrote
He
it.
forged her name.
And what proof
And
do you have of that?
I have proof. My grandmother would write her checks for her bills, and we would go pay for them. So we have copies of all her checks with her signature, and it's not even close to that.
Did you bring any of that here today?
Yes, sir, I have the checks right here.
Okay, give him a Big Sugar Ray. And what do you got to say about him saying y'all were having orgies and drinking?
Well, what
That's the reason
happened-
the grandmother didn't like
He
you.
decided one day we had a party at our grandmother's guest house. It wasn't a party. It was a little get-together. There was not more than 6, 7 people.
And he called the police, and he
All
make
our
a big
family-
deal out of that.
He called
My
the
husband
cops
was
on
there and
us.
our children were
So
there.
He told the
So-
cops that we were
Call the
drunk
police.
and that we were having an orgy, and that the cops got there and they were laughing at him.
Do you have any proof of that?
There is no proof
We have a police
whatsoever.
report.
Oh, you have a
We have the
police
police
report, and
report.
what is that
That's
going to tell me? Did nothing happen?
And that is
That
there was no
it was
evidence
false.
whatsoever.
It was a false
because
statement.
there
Okay,
was no
false
proof
police report. What else you got? It's false police
I have
report.
the police report and I have the picture of how the house was taken care of. That when he was stayed there after we had already left, because we all took off. We got married, have our own families, our own lives. But thing is, every time I go there, I clean up. And I'd go to work and do other,
Y'all had jobs. He's never worked.
But he's never worked.
That's
and
a lie,
He
Your
had
Honor.
one day at
Well,
home,
and
and look how
keep
dirty
it.
the house is.
You been,
he didn't even
did you
keep
free ride
nothing
off your
clean.
grandmother?
That's
Never
exactly
did, Your
what
Honor.
he did.
Never did. I always
That's
He
kept the
lived
job.
off her. He's still living off her. He
What
got a
happened?
job.
What
He had a
happened
job.
is that
And
he's
the
had,
job, the thing
he has
is,
been
he worked at
always.
Walgreens. Excuse me. He worked at Walgreens, and then he got fired because he was sexual harassment and employed there.
A man.
Another lie.
Another
That's
man?
a
Your Honor.
man.
He lost his job.
Coming up next.
My grandmother wrote a will, and she was 82 years old, so you couldn't understand it. So she told me to rewrite the will.
That's
At
a
the
lie.
time,
And
I rewrote the
signed
whole
it.
will.
He wrote that will.
She
No, Your Honor.
signed
It's
it
a lie.
again.
I'm glad you just said that because I am comparing the handwriting.
The
And it
handwriting.
doesn't look
Your
like your
Honor,
grandmother's
he wrote-
handwriting.
You're watching Eye for an Eye.
I've always been taking care of my grandmother all my life, while my
That's
sisters
all.
were
He wrote
out
that
there
will.
partying,
He wrote that will.
having
That's a
orgies
lie.
in the pool.
You are
Having
lying.
orgies in the pool.
Yes.
He worked at Walgreens. Excuse me. He worked at Walgreens, and then he got fired because he was sexual harassment and employed there.
A man.
Another lie.
Another
That's
man?
a
Your Honor.
man.
He lost his job, and my grandmother has supported him all this time.
That's
She
a lie.
has fed him, she has raised him, and then he
They-
took her money, and then turned around and he lied to her about us that we were strip teasers, we were running out in the strip joints.
So they're saying
police.
that you convinced your grandmother that they were strippers, they were having orgies, that they were drunk, that they were getting arrested so that you could get the money. What you got to say about that?
That's a lie. My
You-
grandmother wrote a will, and she was 82 years old, so you couldn't understand it. So she told me to rewrite the will.
That's
At
a
the
lie.
time,
And
I
signed
rewrote
it.
the
It's
whole
a
will.
lie. He wrote that
She
will.
No, Your Honor.
signed
It's
it
a lie.
again.
Your Honor,
I'm glad you
not
just
telling
said that
you.
because I am comparing the handwriting, and it
handwriting-
doesn't look
Your
like your
Honor,
grandmother's
he wrote
handwriting.
that
on this
will.
No,
photo.
it's not
handwriting
grandmother's
is not the same.
handwriting. The
Your Honor,
signature is her handwriting.
I don't
He
know
forced
about
her.
that. I'll
He
compare the
forced
two.
her.
It
He
He
doesn't
wrote
look
that
the same.
will. He
He
wrote
pushed her
that will
signature on
and
there.
signed it 3 hours after grandma died.
Yes.
And how do you know that?
Because the nurse saw him.
That's
The
a
nurse
lie.
saw
What
him
nurse?
doing it.
The nurse that used to take care of grandma.
They say the nurse saw you
Yes,
signing
she
the
That
will.
was that will has been written months before my mom
No,
died.
That is a lie.
No,
That's
she's
a lie.
from
The nurse was stripping with you in
He
the
was trying
club,
to-
wasn't she?
Let me ask you.
No, she was not. She was with you. You're the one that's fooling around with all these
Yeah,
three
because I
nurses.
remember
And
that
you-
one time.
Oh, here we go.
Yes,
Okay, let me
he
ask
was
him some
sleeping around
questions.
with them, and then on top of that, the thing was, he was in the living room that night, and he was kissing and hugging on a man, had his arm
What?
around him.
Yeah.
The nurse walked on him. Yes, the nurse
That's a lie,
walked
Your
on him,
Honor. That's a lie.
Last
Him-
time
What?
I went to see my grandmother before she passed away.
She was fooling around with him.
She don't even want to talk to me. She was like, I don't want to talk to you because he told her that I wasn't a stripper just because I'm a dance instructor. And he's been accusing me that I'm a stripper, which is not true.
Why'd you call her a stripper if she's just a dance instructor?
And you get paid for dance instructing, right?
Yes, I
Oh,
got
my
paid.
God.
Yes, I got
Come
paid. That's
on.
my
You
job.
was laying around the house, and you wouldn't even clean the house. You kept the house dirty. You didn't even try to help her. All you
This
did
house
was
is a
went and
mess.
took her out.
There's
You did a
stuff
lousy,
everywhere in this
creepy-
house.
Exactly.
So you lived alone with your grandma, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, using her.
I took care of her.
Taking advantage of her.
And he got
That's
a new
lie.
car.
She paid for your meals. She paid.
He
how much
paid
money
for
I
did
took.
you
everything.
get?
I took
Honor.
for my grandmama. I took my grandma to the hospital.
No,
to the
that's not
doctors.
true, Your Honor.
I did everything.
Yeah,
for my
you
grandma.
know,
My
no, no,
grandma
He was
did.
you know what?
I
In
did
his
for
car.
her
He
because
was on
they
his
lived
car
next
running
door.
around.
Sometimes
For her.
One night he
Your
was
Honor.
having a party, Your Honor. He was having a party at grandma's house, and grandma got sick. She had a stroke. So the nurse had to call the ambulance, and he had
He
no
didn't
clue
even
what was
realize
going
Out
on.
running around in his new car
And
and got a
then he-
DUI.
Yeah.
He found out
What?
what was happening with the ambulance.
Grandma's in the hospital. You're driving
Yes,
around.
he's driving
around.
Did you get a DUI the night your grandma was in the
Yeah,
hospital?
DUI.
They invited so many people. So when I was looking around, so I saw the people taking my grandma. So at the time, I had 3 drinks. Of course I did. I followed my grandma, the ambulance, towards the hospital, and then I got stopped.
See,
They're going to stop and give somebody a DUI when the grandma's in the ambulance in front of them?
And now,
I don't think
how do
so.
you see
He
I
was
don't
in
know.
the hospital with
See,
her, and
if
he
he
never
really
went to
cared
see
for her so much, he would have been there for her. And I was the
Exactly.
only one that would go by there every single day just to help her and take care of her while he was out roaming around having his little joyride wherever he wanted to
He had
go.
a brand new car, and he
what
didn't
was
have
he
a
doing?
job.
Spend the
And
money?
he had
Let
never
me
left
ask
the
you something.
house.
They obviously were there. Don't you think it's fair that all 4 of you should split this estate?
Yes, I think so.
Are you willing to do that?
No, I'm not.
All right. What you got to say
Well,
about
it's not the money. It's the principle. That we're right here because we're brother and sister. I mean, he's our brother. We love him, but it's not right.
It shouldn't be like that.
I mean, it
We
should
don't
not be like that.
We don't
because
want, in other
we
words,
would have never done
we
that
just
to
want
him.
at the very last, we don't want to give her any more hard time because she was
She's
dying.
already- she's already dead
and
and
he
gone.
don't want
She's
all
already
around the
rested in
house.
peace. She's already
house-
Yeah,
rested
what
in
you got to
peace.
say about that?
I left at 19 years old. I joined the Marine Corps. I would talk to my grandmother from overseas. And
That's a lie, Your Honor.
they couldn't even
That's a
take her to
lie.
go cash a welfare check.
That's a lie,
a
Your
monthly
Your Honor.
welfare check.
He didn't join
And
no
they
Marine
live
Corps. He
next
didn't
to
join
her.
no service. He was too busy out there running around in the street.
No, there's
with
a
all
simple
the
serving my
questions. As a matter of
country.
fact, he was out there doing the wrong
Well, you
things.
should have came back
What was
into
he
the
doing?
country.
He was out there fooling around with all the girls he could find.
Girls? I thought they were men.
Men and girls.
He's bisexual.
Bisexual?
Yes, sir, he is. Because he is sexual, so he takes whatever comes his way. And I think that's dirty and filthy. And the thing is, Your Honor,
All right. All right.
we want the right things. We don't want to be cold-hearted like he
Exactly.
is.
We would've never
want
done that
share
to
the
each
things
other.
that Esther. We wanted to share the Esther with us because I feel that we are entitled to everything
Your
that our
Honor,
grandmother
whatever
had.
the will says is all I
That is a
want.
lie.
All right. Well, I'm going to
Of
listen to
course,
what you...
because the will said that everything belongs to you.
I'm gonna listen-
That's what we
Will.
want to follow
It
what the
doesn't
will
bring
says.
because you was with our grandmother. You think that you got the right to? Well, you don't.
Okay, I'm going to listen. Hey, I'm going to listen to what y'all said. I'm going to listen to what Grandma's boy said, and then I'll be back in a second.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Thank you. Now, this gentleman, this hits home close to you because you're going through something sort of like this.
Yeah, you got to really think about what you're going to do and what you're going to come out with at the end.
Right.
Well, let me ask you,
Heart.
you think your grandma would want you to end up here in a court?
No.
You think,
No,
what do you think
I
her
don't
feelings
think
would
she
be?
When this happened.
If only this ignorant nut here, he would have listened to us in the first place. We want to be here in the second place.
You got a thought on this?
Yes. I've been in that same situation, and everything was left to me. But I want to know, you had the original will?
Yes.
You were going to have it probated?
Yes, ma'am, but she died before that.
Yeah,
So
right.
he wrote
You asked for the original one, right?
And then you wrote the will over?
But you say,
Did
he
he
asked for the
what did he
original
want to show
one. He
to
said,
us?
yeah, I
Did you
got the
write the
original
will
one. Why he
over?
can say he has the only one?
Yes, he
Yes.
sure did. But he's trying to take over everything. He said,
But we're
but
not
I said,
trying
I
to
love
do
him.
nothing wrong with him.
Your
All right, well, your
principle.
family. Hopefully, your brother and sisters, you're gonna
Yeah,
end up
especially
together and all that
Which is
stuff.
the only one who
But you know
doesn't want
what?
to share anything with us.
You're gonna find out whether there's a will or there's a way because we have Judge Extreme Akim making the
That's
decision
right.
right now.
Now you see where everything.
Coming up next.
You ever play games with your three sisters when you were little?
Sure.
Would you be willing for me to have a game
You're watching Eye for an Eye.
Well, let me ask you, you think your grandma would want you to end up here in a court? What do you think her feelings would be?
When this happened.
If only this ignorant nut here, he would have listened to us in the first place. We want to be here in the second place.
All rise!
First of all, sir, did you ever play games with your three sisters when you were little?
Sure.
Did they ever beat you in any of the games?
Never.
Would you be willing for me to have a game where the winner would get the bedroom setting, the china cabinet, the china, the pictures, the antique set, and the silver?
Why not?
Okay, well, I'm glad you said that because normally I couldn't do anything with the will. I mean, it'd have to go to probate court. But now that you've agreed that we can do that here, then I'm allowed to do it. So what I'm going to order is that the four of you will play a game called King of the Hill. They're going to build a big hill of dirt. If one of these three gets to the top of the hill first, they get all those items. If you get to the top of the hill first, you can have the items. May the best one win. That's justice. Thank you.
Here we are at Flagpole Hill, where today we're going to give the sisters one last chance to pile up on their big bully brother. You know, we figured that since everyone in the family wants to be king of the household, why not play a game of King of the Hill?
I'm gonna be king of the hill. I'm getting my mom's stuff back. It doesn't belong to you. I guarantee you, I'm determined to do it because I am aim and I'm ready to go.
My brother, I don't know what happened to him in the last few months because he wasn't like that before. Okay, well, I think the judge's decision was the right one, and me personally, I'm going to follow whatever he said. I think my chances to win are good because we have done the right things. We take care of my grandma, and we have the same rights that he does.
The judge knows that I was right. That's why he gave me this competition. I'm bigger than them. I'm stronger. I'm in shape, and I'm going to take what's mine, what's rightfully mine. I know that I'm going to win this competition. I don't think the judge even thought for a moment that these girls were going to win this tournament. The reason I'm not giving them anything is because everything that belonged in that house that was her personal items, they were given to me. They've never been there for my mom. They were just waiting for her to die so they can pounce on her estate. I've always believed in taking what's mine, and today I will prove to my mom so she can finally rest in peace that her wish has come true.
So you played King of the Hill. Well, I'll tell you what, you have a chance today to actually win some of those items back if you can beat him in King of the Hill. But this is going to be a little bit different kind of King of the Hill game. Sugar Ray? Someone is going to get very, very wet. Oh my gosh, you got that hose. You ready? You're like a fireman.
I'm going to get him wet.
75 pounds per square inch coming out of it. That's a lot of pressure. That's not like a cheap little hotel shower. This is the big time. If they come up this hill past that yellow line, they get that part of the will. She gets her china. If Rachel makes it, Brianna comes up there, she gets that ring. You girls, really easy rules. Ready? Stay in between the yellow lines. You get 2 minutes. If you make it first, you get those items you wanted. If you make it up, you're going to get that sentimental ring that means so much to you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you girls ready? On your mark, get set, go!
I was looking up on the bottom of the hill, and I was like, I was never going to make it because it was so wet, and the water, the pressure and all that, and he was heating up so bad.
He came at me with the water hose, pretty fast, because he squirted me right on my face. And I tried to look, but it just seemed like every time I took a step, I just knocked me right back down.
He was scoring me on the top of my head, and I felt, and I try again, and I don't know what he was doing that well. Obviously, he was trying for us not to get to the top.
I wanted to keep the whole front where they were coming through all wet. It would make it more difficult for them to come up the hill. So I wanted it to be so slick for them so they wouldn't get to me.
The water pressure was so strong, and I was thinking that I was not going to make it to the top.
The hill was very, very muddy, very wet, rocks, grass. They just kept crawling, and they just kept walking, but it was so rough.
When I got to the top, the first things I did, I tried to take the hose from him and help her a little bit because he was hitting on her so bad, and she's a little older, so that's what I tried to help her a little bit. That's what I did there.
Stop it, Luis, turn it off! It's over! It's over! It's over! You guys made it within 2 minutes! Come on, give it up! You made it, you're gonna get your china, you're gonna get your sentimental ring, and you are gonna have to give up some stuff.
I will.
Today, justice was a fire hose. Until next time, I'm Cato Kalin for Eye for an Eye.
I didn't think I was gonna make it, but I would encourage myself, and I make myself
As angry as I was, it encouraged me to just get stronger and come up high as I can get, and I made it up here.
I mean, at that point, we didn't have any strategic how we were going to make it, but it came out, so.
And now I think they should change this to the Queen of the Hill instead of King of the Hill. Yeah.
I believe justice has been served, and in my heart, all I want to do is just let Mom rest in peace, and what was given to them today, I love it. Mom is happy now.